interesting, but we'll have to wait and see.
Well, the map pick of Heretics about to get off to, well, we'll see how the start goes. 5 Ghosts and a quicker pace towards Rumble. A battle for Team Heretics off rip, but it's denied by Fnatic. They sit back, even opening the door themselves and giving some space to their opponents. Looks like we will have a slow and tempered beginning. And on that defensive side, last time we saw Durka on the Raze, on the Odin. It was a highlight for me. It was a highlight of the game. We'll see if that carries on into this, or if Fnatic have a new vision on how to approach this map.
I hope they do.
I don't
Yeah,
know.
I know you don't. I know you don't. You've already brought it up. We've only been in the game for 40 seconds.
Can't even buy an Odin yet.
Yeah, the fact is, they've got a 4-man stack up towards that A side of the map. A little bit of a jump spot for Alpha. For the side of Heretics, looking like they're about to attempt to explode onto the B site. Now, there will be a quick switch of direction from the 2 players playing towards the broken door, so they will still have eyes on this. But it seems like, for now, breaking that turret was more so of a ruse.
Well, this is where there could be some trouble brewing for Boo. He's trapped on the back, but his teammates are on the way over to help. Swings out ahead of them. The position taken by Chronicle good, but he's getting none of the kills until Mini Boo falls. It was Leo grabbing both of those, and he's up close, ready to finish off Benji Fishy with a wide swing. 3 kills for Leo in the pistol round. A fantastic start for Fnatic. It's not only Leo who doesn't die this time, it's an Andaluthia flawless for Fnatic. Beautiful start to their map, or to their opponent's map.
Yeah, no, a great start for them, I think, especially on this defensive side as well. I do think that this matchup is always going to be one that, even though it's competitive, even though it's exciting, it's just a little bit wholesome for me. Because I feel like this, for a lot of the players over on the Heretic side, will be sat there looking at this as like, okay, these were the players we wanted to be able to compete with last year, like when they were in the tier 2. I think Benji has even said it. He looked up to someone like Boaster, wanted to play against him, beat him in the first game of Split 1. And now has the opportunity to make it to the grand final for the 2nd time regionally by beating them again. It would be an incredible storyline. For Fnatic, it's almost the opposite. They had the high highs of last year, looking unstoppable. People thought they were going to do the 3-peat in trophies, which no one had ever won 2 in a row before. They did that for the first time. They're looking to get back to that level. And yeah, you're highlighting an Odin in a round again against Classics. You did it. You did it yesterday. I couldn't care less.
Round 2 Odin buys. They just tickle me. It makes me feel good. It's something you don't typically expect to play against.
I want him to get right-clicked. Like, just one shot. I want him to get insta right-clicked.
Somehow through a wall as well.
Screw it. Why not?
I don't think that's going to happen. You know, any weapon in the hands of Durka is a dangerous weapon. For Heretics, pistols all around. This is a round where they just try to get some value out of it by dropping weapons out of the hands of their opponents. With the buy that's in play, Fnatic can lose 1 player, but after that, again, it will become costly. Durka hasn't invested into shields with that bigger weapon, and he's the backup player for this site. Boaster is a bit of pressure on him to at least drop a player or 2, do the damage, make it easier for that spray that now will be through the smoke to get it done. Durka, no shields, and he's just running at them. That's one way to handle it, I suppose. And back-to-back Andaluthia flawlesses for Fnatic.
Yeah, I hope for Heretics' sake, this is where that ends. Otherwise, we could be in for a truly terrifying series. But no, this is where they have the rifles. This is where they can start really getting things back on the board. Leo definitely closest to getting that ultimate online. The Nightfall,
30 seconds.
perfect for retake scenarios. But that's the thing. Fnatic, especially in the first map of series, have been off to incredibly slow starts. We've talked about like 5-0, 9-3 comebacks that they've needed in both maps yesterday. And well, we're back to the regular. The early spams to try and deny any of that extra space, or at least tickle up players if they do look to take that control. Although saying that, it was taken initially. And it seems like for now, Heretics are more than happy to just wait patiently. Maybe expecting a little bit more aggression in this round because of a couple of slightly weaker weapons.
Yeah, you know, Fnatic have been stacking towards this side quite a bit. The rubble control early hasn't been there because they're looking to contest on range, in this case spamming. And this means that they put a lot of presence towards this A site later on in the round, having to fill in these gaps, see if players are still here. They're realizing now that Heretics have taken this to the other side of the map, but the rotations only began a few seconds ago. At least Chronicle was able to make it here. A Snakebite had gone through. Good nanos, and that's drop Boo. On the back of the Decay as well. Alpha's catching Mini Boo, utility in hand, and no one else could make it through thanks to that utility setup in play. So now they go back. Heretics want the B site, and Boaster's here to defend it.
Nice shot from Rians. That will at least be an opener, but they have taken a nasty chunk of damage on the way in. Durka trying to deny them, getting aggressive, but he's caught. He's attempted to spam, and because of that, he's lost his life. Woot is about to meet his counterpart, his doppelganger of Leo, but doesn't even see him coming. Puts this into a 3v2 advantage for Fnatic. Benji at least finding one, turns on a dime, but doesn't manage to connect the second shot. And now Rian's with everything to do. Stun will come back online. Gives him a chance to try and isolate a couple of these fights, but both players looking to take this one together. They know exactly where he is. Looks to get the spike to half. In fact, Leo could have maybe just stacked that one, tries to bait him in, and that's exactly what happens. Well played from Fnatic in that 2 versus 1.
A lot of respect being shown to their opponents there. Even in the 2v1, not wanting to give them the chance to actually isolate a duel fully. This setup, though, this is what won them the round. Completely destroyed the pace that Heretics were going for. They managed to have a decent recovery. Very well could have been their round, but not expecting the second player sneaking up top. Early on, though, Fnatic, I see some danger signs if Heretics do up pace. I mean, B side is left a little open, but they can fight from the off angle in towards the broken door. It's the C site that's really in isolation. Alphair has to be able to slow them down as they push through. This time he had the rotation of Chronicle to help out. As we said, the snake bite was there, the poison orb had already been put down. But in rounds where Heretics make that switch of sights that little bit quicker, there could be challenges, could be problems. For Fnatic, they adjust, they take A, rubble control early. Now they're ready to fight on B, because they've got 2 players in the early stages of the round on site, ready to scrap. Utility slows Heretics, and now they're basically blocked out.
God, that's not really a good way for them to go, other than trying to retreat all the way back. And the weaponry they have only really works towards that B site, unless you're going to be able to close down the gaps. And you can see again where Fnatic are playing from, already reclaiming a lot of the control that they gave up in the early stages of the round to turn things back into much more of a default. The one space that only has a singular player on it is Alpha, which, again, if he's in form, sometimes that can be worse than anywhere else. For now, it's just going to be about orb control for Heretics. Trying to retrieve whatever they can. Boo did manage to get an orb, but it came at the cost of his life. And the spike. But again, Fnatic are more than happy to just sit back and just spam bullets through. They saw the spike drop, so they could just deny.
And all the while, you're tagging these players up, giving Boaster an opportunity to grab some. Leo, who's rotated in, picks up Woot, catches the cross, but not the shot.
That's his first.
It's only the first for yeah, isn't it? Only the first for Team Heretics, though. Still 4 players to drop, and one right up close is Alphair, backed up by Chronicle from main. That's a 4th round locked in for Fnatic. Minimal losses as well. For this being Heretics' map pick, it's not the start you're looking for in that attacking side.
No, this is already starting to get a little bit worrying. Again, we know this has been a fantastic map for them. I'll be honest, when I saw the veto, I thought that maybe we'd see Heretics actually pick Split, and Lotus would end up as the last map, rather than the other way around. But
really nice, boys.
Clearly this is one they're feeling confident on. And you know what, it's fair enough. They've managed to beat Na'Vi in recent times, even beat Fnatic in a very close game. But that was at the beginning of the season. Fnatic do look like they've improved a fair bit since then. And for the defense, there's just no stopping them. Look how far up Durka is already. It's a complete change of pace. Chronicle's now the one with the Odin, but he's already low.
Not an easy fight to take, especially when Woot's spamming back on the other side. Okay, Chronicle, decent bit of damage. Rian's down to 55, but the kill gets him Rolling Thunder. They have that to work with for site take, but they're using it a little bit deeper in towards the spawn. Looks like it'll catch at least the one. Boaster tried to dodge it with the Shrouded Step, but still gets caught. This denies them any sort of congestion around that spike plant. Late lurk being sent out by Durka. There is a player towards the broken door, Benji Fishy, who's sitting down waiting for the re-aggression of this side. Fnatic need their point of contact to make a play, and with the paranoia put through, Boaster wasn't able to make it away from Rien's. Benji Fishy catches Alpha. Now they know his position, but Durka's steps are heard. The nade used, it might push him out into the open, into a wide angle, but Benji's able to win the fight nonetheless. And this is a much better face from Team Heretics. When the rifles come back out, the wins are found. Leo grabbing one. I'm not even sure if that's a echolocation or just a wild spray, but either way, fair play to him.
First round on the board. Much better stuff from Heretics. I think even just being able to deny some of the spams. I think Chronicle might feel a little bit hard done by. Like, Durka's been spamming that every single round. The one time he tries to do it, they've spammed him right back. But then even just, I like the way they're using all of the utility, especially Rien's. Having that Rolling Thunder deep, making sure that you can get the plant with no problems, but they don't just then give up that space. They have further counter utility to make things much more awkward for Fnatic on the retake, and their first round ends up being relatively clean. The problem though, Fnatic's rounds have been so clean, they buy up easy.
That they do, yeah. Plenty of credits in the bank. Even for the next round, some of these players will be able to buy up. Ults are coming online as well. So is Boaster. Right up top, but caught. Shrouded step from Boo gets a little ahead of where they were ready for. And Fnatic, you know, we saw this in, I think, round 4, where they went for the aggression around Rubble. It got them a lot of control. It allowed the early rotates, and ultimately, you could argue, won them the round on the C site. But now, completely different result to be, or rather, it was a B site push when they had pushed up on Rebel. Now they lose their smoker. Lose Boaster, Durka down to 56 HP, and 0 information on that defensive side as to where this push could be coming in.
Dirk already tagged him. Definitely makes things a little bit more awkward. Alpha's position is being revealed. They know exactly where he is, and they're now going to try and put the pressure on. He has no support, and they know that. The Neural Theft gave them every single piece of information they ever could have desired. Now, Alpha's pulled off miracles from here before, but Boo is more than ready for it. Leaves 3 players trying to rotate in time. Leo doesn't quite manage to land the shots. In fact, it's Durka. He's quickly found 2. Chronicles found another. This was a 2v5 just a split second ago, and now it's very much doable.
I mean, Heretics have Rien's on low HP and the spike still to be planted, Tom. If I was to favor anyone here, it might be Fnatic. But Heretics have got Benji snuck in to that corner. If Durka doesn't clear it, and he hasn't, that will be a free kill. The second player, I think Benji had an idea, but the timing is terrible. Chronicle, pit online. Does he want to use it here, though? No idea quite how low Rien's is. Perhaps 29 HP, and I think Rien saw him go in the corner, but the shot is hit. 3 kills for Chronicle and a 5th round on the board for Fnatic.
That's a 2v5. That's a 2v5.
We need a replay of what Durka just did. Those 2 kills coming in so quickly. Wow.
Oh, that one's got a sting, though. Like, Heretics finally managing to get their first round on the board. The openers were great. Like, Boo did an amazing job. Like, he predicts where Alpha is going to push from. Also countered Boaster in the early fight. And then connects onto a second player, waiting for them here. And it still just doesn't go their way. Like, just the...
Oh!
What? All right. Okay, well, I guess that works out for you, doesn't it?
What? I'm not even sure how he reacted to the first person dying so quickly to transfer. That was so quick. I think Durka's found a new favorite weapon. I don't know. Couldn't do that with a Vandal.
Maybe. Well, it seems like I've seen this team just be so clinical when they get into those advantages. Letting them slip like that, especially when it's Fnatic on the other side, you just can't allow that to happen.
There's always been another player taking those first fights, whether it's Alfier, whether it had been Leo, but Chronicle in following up and trading out. The guy's 9-1 right now. For Fnatic, everything is going right, and they've caught Boo. An ambitious play, I'll call it that, to go straight into the spawn, to stick the TP, and from the shadows he came, and from the shadows to the shadows he went. Nice shot by Mini Boo.
He's just gotten his first 2 kills in quick succession. As said, I never worry about it when it's this guy. I think he's had 1 quiet game the entire season, and he was definitely aware of it. That round was already looking pretty dangerous with the first 2 kills going in the other direction, but Heretics fighting from a deficit, not in a bad spot now.
Well, as much as I love the Odin, these players are well aware of what they're facing against. A rocket, though, that works out. Durka taking down Mini Boo, and both players remaining are low. The nade's back online, and it's perfectly positioned. Rien's 12 has to run, and Durka catches him with a headshot. Benji Fishy, though, they know this op is in play, and they've nothing to deny it. They have to face him in open combat. 61 HP, and he hits the shot. Down to 33, halfway defused, and another shot for Benji Fishy. The Red Bull clutch. And the doubling of the rounds, Heretics back on the board. That could be the fire lit under them.
There's always things where you just see like your Cypher players bought up an operator and you go, that's really interesting. But when it's Benji, I just don't feel like you could even worry at this point. This guy is so good in scenarios when he's needed. That clutch capability even baits in Boaster almost. Like he gets hit by that paranoia seconds after he manages to land the shot. And then just clinical with isolating the duels, knowing the timing of when he needed to peak for that counter to already be gone. Oh, there we go. Your second favorite gun in the game.
No, I'm not taking that slander. This gun sucks.
You said you were converted when Enzo was playing it.
When Enzo
you
has
specifically said,
when Enzo
oh,
has
I
it.
have to take back everything I said about it because it's looking pretty good now.
Listen,
and now you're talking smack about it again.
I slept on it, and now I disagree with those words. I mean, the guy's already got 50 bullets left.
As in you slept on the Ares, or as in you slept on it and now you think it sucks
the words that I
again?
said, I slept on that perspective, and I no longer hold it. The gun is trash. Basically, I played it and ranked again and realized it's just terrible. So what you have to...
Maybe that's just you.
Huh. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. As LMGs go, this thing might as well be a water pistol. He's already picked up Brienne's, though. Durka looking to make a fool of me, but he's caught out. 1 kill, and now we go to much weaker weapons. To be honest, in my opinion, stronger weapons, but that's neither here nor there. Chronicle's caught up close, has some backup from Leo, late flank out of Alpha, with a Marshal in hand, and the entirety of the attacking squad ignoring these players, just moving into the B site where they'll find a plan. Alpha has to go to the Classic. The Marshal isn't the weapon for this fight, although a lot of these players are tagged very low.
30 seconds
the
left.
Classic being spotted already. He's going to go back to it. But now that they've seen that player, they rotate over to the C site, where Heretics are finding a nice open plant and even picking up Chronicle along the way. Chances here pretty low, but Leo's recovered a rifle, and a lot of these players on Heretics have been tagged up. Don't think he'll go for it, though.
Yeah, that's the thing, is whether or not he wants to just throw the rifle into the wind, and a lot of that damage maybe not necessarily confirmed. Already things being given up. And you can see that this is more of the controlled aspect of Heretics that we've come to see. Very passive, even got some deep control towards the spawn, so they have their rotation out of there already. They don't need to fight any of the remaining players on Fnatic. They can leave this site without too many problems. Saying that, he actually hit the tag onto Wu while doing the spam. But I think that Alpha, in the end, is just going to decide to die to the spike, and Leo will just hold on to the rifle.
Well, everything's gone according to plan in the late round for Fnatic, but not in the early. 5-3. Heretics starting to creep up on their scoreline bit by bit. This round there'll be a little bit more resistance, though. Although a few ultis are online for them pretty soon. Fnatic coming out of this with the deaths they have and the orbs they found. It's going to give them a chance to have Viper's Pit and Lockdown online. Boasters from the shadows hopefully will find more success than Booze. Or even just stay in the bank.
Funny thing about that first fight is that must have been their own stun. That catches Mini Boo.
Yeah.
So he was just happy to just play through everything. The util combo early, a lot of that's almost used just to try and catch Boo, who has been teleporting across. A lot of damage done, but Mini Boo, as I said, he was 0-6 just moments ago. Never loses confidence, never flees from a fight. And he's going to find Durka in the very first seconds of these rounds.
A very big kill as well, because just a millisecond beforehand, a headshot was hit through the wall onto Rienz. He was being tagged up heavy by that spray. So a big peek out of Minibu to find that opening. And leave Fnatic without that aggressive stance on Rubble, but they have decided to gamble towards A site. It seems to be the C site. Killjoy setup. Leo in the back lines, Chronicle on the quick rotation, Turret still holding B. And Heretics, I'm not sure if they're going to decide to open that door and move to the B side or angle it all the way around to C. If it's the latter, they could be in trouble.
They've got Nightfall available if they want to use it. Miniboo has been caught out, but the rest of the team were going in another direction. Now this actually helps out Fnatic a bit. They're going to be left in a 4v4. They've got the lockdown to try and force them out of position, although Nightfall has been used just to try and deny that early space. I don't know how much that has actually helped Heretics, because they're going to have to flee anyway, and they're being pushed further into the direction of Bosa. They've also misread where some of the players are, so that Rolling Thunder has done absolutely nothing. Bosa now coming in with the timing, but Alpha is way ahead of it, and he's going to pick up 2. But Benji has to fall out of there, and honestly, this round for Heretics has been a bit of a nightmare. They commit a lot of ultimates, and they get nothing for it.
Chronicle's got to be kicking himself, at least, because he used the Viper's Pit right at the end. I think as he left-clicked to deploy it, all the kills came through. Unfortunate, but hey, better to be safe than sorry. And this time, they're at least safe at the half. They won't be losing the lead. 6-6, the best possible scoreline for Team Heretics. As we said, nice opening pick, even with the paranoia. The reveal got them what they needed to find that kill, but Alpha up close. He found 2, but that third was coming his way nonetheless. A little too clean. Rienz was so low as well.
But the problem I have is that both ults there from Heretics, it seemed like were used to delay, but the lockdown just ruined everything they were going for. Back into the round. Again, we're going to see a more passive position this time with the spams from Durka. Not going to try and fight them out in the open like last round. The thing is, though, Fnatic are a very similar setup with 3 players towards that broken door. No opportunity for a rotation. And actually, the Nightfall is going to get quite a lot of info here.
Oh, it's also lighting these players low. That wild spray through. It doesn't land this time, despite a little bit of damage being done. The Nightfall is most of what you were seeing on your screen, so it's all going to decay right back up. For Durka, no success on the spams, but he has declined any further aggression from the side of Heretics, who will now go back in the other direction. This whole time, Benji Fishy has been sat on C, up in hand on Mound, waiting for an opportunity, but Alpha's playing super passive. Chronicle, on the other hand, goes pushing, only finds the one.
Spike was dropped, so they're going to have a decent idea that it was rotating, and in fact, Boaster now pushing up on B. May be able to get that extra little bit of information. The only problem is again, it looks like it will come down to Alpha.
30 seconds left.
Has to give away his position as well. They're not deciding to isolate him, and instead running through all those nanos has cost a lot of HP. Mini Boo's down to 40. The push is delayed. The kill is clean and easy for Alpha Yer. Now repositioning for when this cage falls and he can take a fight, but Boo wins it. Everyone on the side of Heretics is tagged. 12 seconds left to get a plant. Still a nade online. The blast back in. Here he comes, and there he goes. Leo and Durka out of the round, and a chance for Boaster. 6 HP is the margin that was in it, with Wu just about holding on for long enough to deliver a headshot back. 6-4 now. And a 2-round gap. It's doable for this attack side to equalize at the half, and the credits are starting to run a little bit lower on Fnatic.
But yeah, it's not going to affect them massively this round. It might just leave Boaster with a weaker weapon, which has been quite a common theme, I'll be honest. We've seen that quite regularly in their matches so far. And actually, I think we just heard Benji. That was him saying not to take the operator. So maybe going to go for something a little bit quicker in some of these rounds. Not having that in play. Okay, Durka. Mini Boo's bit the dust again. There's been a back and forth between these duelists, but once more, it's only ended in a trade.
And there was an attempt at aggression by Boaster up on B mid, just clearing it out. Maybe even to open the door and meet up with his teammate, but Durka gets dropped. Granted, it takes almost the entirety of Heretics to get rid of him, but they do it in the end. And now they slow it, pump the brakes, and let Fnatic second guess themselves. B site will be left open with the turret holding on to control. And the ultimate used by Benji Fishy reveals the positions of these Fnatic players. They can now look to open that door, move into the B site where they've seen it's a little bit more open, but in fact, that's all a ruse, just telling Fnatic that that's the play they want to go for. Instead, the stun is being set up. The play is back towards the C site. Leo's just rotated in on time. And Alpha up top, to be honest, this is not a position I think they'll be very ready for, but by the looks of things, Heretics are going back once again.
Yeah. Boaster in position, but he doesn't have the gun to fight them with. It's going to have to be the retake once more, and this time there isn't the ultimate to force them out. Instead, though, there is Chronicle. He's already picked up one, and again, Heretics are going for another late rotation. Boaster, he's heard the steps. He knows that this is heading back to the A site, and gives the information over to Chronicle to reposition once more. This is getting right into the late round for the side of Heretics, really playing those rotations. The fact is, though, they need a kill. They need to pick off one of these players. Chronicle would be ideal, and that's exactly the man they've removed. Now the remaining 3 of Fnatic, all coming from a similar position. Wu up close, ready to brawl. First goes his way, but that's the trade of the player without the gun. Leaving it into a 2v2 scenario. Rien's stun is not going to connect, but he lands the shot anyway, and even gets the second as well. Heretics' climb back continues, as they're now only 1 away.
A very impressive resurgence. 4 out of the last 5 rounds. The attack side's got their groove back. And on the side of Fnatic, yeah, slowing down, trying some new ideas, even finding opening picks. But when it's traded out like this, oh, the timing on that as well. Flash just a millisecond earlier could have changed the game. It's always easy to look back.
The credit I'll always give to Heretics, even though some of these late rotations do seem very risky, I love the fact that the whole team is always all in.
Yes.
Like, there was never anybody left behind. The second that call is made, 20 seconds, they're gone. They're going with the squad. Again, we're going to have this early battle, and again, Boaster has met the same fate. The showstopper not going to connect, and there's one on the other side. Mini Boo. Just trying to clear angles at this stage, making sure they can't be caught, and well, it looks like Fnatic are going to need to win another clutch scenario as they're in a 3v5.
They even saw Alpha coming up with the trap, so flank is being watched, being held. Sends Alpha in the other direction.
Planted.
5 players still alive, but they've lost the 2v5 in the past. They need to be careful. Position of Rienz is the main danger as they cross to site. I thought timing would be what gave him the advantage, but in fact, it's just his cracked aim that brings it across the line. Still standing in position, stun ready on hand, pushes Alpha into the open, but still hits the shot. Rienz, no trouble to be found until Leo steps up to the scene, but there's 4 players left. Losing a 2v5 is one thing, but if Leo picks up all 4 of these kills, that's one for the books. I don't think he's getting away with this, with a player just off angle being mini boot, and the scrap through the boxes was all just a bait to get him to walk in. Wasn't needed as they win the first fight 6-6. We get an even half out of what was a 5-1 lead for Fnatic.
Yeah, they had a really good early start, which has not been common for them. And Heretics have proven, okay, we can fight back in the late game. I think one of the most impressive things for me so far this half, and this is an example of it, is you'll watch Rienz put out his stun. A player will peek him while he's doing it, and he will still be able to get his gun out and hit the headshot before they can. That's how clean this guy's aim is. That happened again in the round before, where he's pushed on while trying to stun, and just manages to connect the shot. The guy really is a talent. Another one of those players we've seen come up from the tier 2, from S2G. I'm off 6-6. A great resurgence now onto that defensive side, and Fnatic, well, historically always known for their attack, but as it was mentioned, when they played versus Liquid, it was their defense that was impressive.
Yeah, but this is the thing about Fnatic, and we heard it from Elma Putty earlier in an interview with Zoe, that they just cannot figure out that first half. They'll do it on attack, they'll do it on defense, they'll show weaker faces, and then they'll come through half 2, completely different squad, and get out of their own way. I think that's how he put it in a lot of these games they've been playing against
Maybe he
themselves.
just needs to tape over the board that they're like 10-0 down.
It's half 2, boys.
And they'll just play good all the time. Yeah, like, oh, there was something that goes on, so we have to play with a huge deficit. You know? Maybe someone used the cam. They
starting 7-1 down. Yeah. Don't worry, boys. Vivo Keeter back.
There.
Well, Heretics' defensive side now to be put to the test, and after a little bit of poking and prodding on the map, Fnatic are deciding to take this towards the A site. Door to be opened moments from now, and a retake for Heretics. I find it very unlikely that Boo starts to scrap on these angles. We'll see how much utility Fnatic expend on the actual site control. Already Paranoia is taken out of the round, and just take a look at the sidebar. There's basically nothing left bar the refreshing utility in the late round. Although it is a classics ghost round here in the pistol, we don't expect to see a ton of that supportive util. The Paranoia was the main danger, but it's still in play for Boot.
Also, just look already how deep Chronicle is currently sat, just waiting. They're going to clear every angle other than where he is, because why would anybody be that far back? It may not matter, though. Already one comes in, there's Miniboo down. And they've still got to deal with him, just causing a nuisance while the rest of Fnatic fight on the site. Finally, Rienz has managed to kill him off, but by that point, the round is already over. Both are waiting within the smoke, and it's another pistol, both going the way of Fnatic.
Yeah, I think every single angle that they decided to hold, Chronicle from behind picks up one. They're scrapped out across the site, holding their angles, winning the fights. Nice, easy pistol. Often it can come down to a coin flip, but Fnatic have won that flip both times now for an early lead in the half.
The thing as well is, you might think, oh, okay, how come they haven't cleared Chronicle? It's because normally you might be someone behind rubble. So they actually put Haunt above rubble to clear. He was playing even further back, just almost knowing that they're methodical enough to check it and adding that to his repertoire of going even further back.
One of the main things that we heard from Heretics as well was how strong that counterplay was in their previous series. It was Benji tweeting out a lot of props going towards Neil Zinho and Weber for preparing them so well for their matches and up against Fnatic. This is a map that we've seen a fair bit of. We know how they like to play it, and for Heretics on the defensive side, I'm curious as to how they'll be playing into that. We can already see that the trap setup for the second round is towards the B site. Having invested into those, giving them a much better chance if that's where Fnatic decide to crunch it. And with the camera up aggressively, there's a chance that they think the Cypher setup is C. It's maybe not worth pushing on a low buy and go running into this trap. In fact, the spike is shifting back to the right.
Oh, they're desperately trying to find out where that defensive Cypher cam is. We saw a similar thing yesterday.
Yeah, the spams.
They still haven't managed to find it. The problem is you've spent all the utility looking for that cam. The cam's going to tell you they're there, but you just don't even have the weaponry to really act off of it.
Oh, no.
It's a couple of sheriffs. And they're now going back into the stack, but even still, that might not mean anything. Durka with an easy opener, the rest of the weaponry, it's just not enough to trade. If they had this sort of stack up and around with guns, I think that would have been an easy win for Heretics.
Spike planted.
Fair enough.
But the trap setup at least got one.
Last player standing.
But I think good prowlers on the way through.
I don't know if that was the setup. That was a man right-clicking a smoke.
Yeah, well, he was caught by a trap wire. He wouldn't know where. There's a man right-clicking in the open. Boo's a bit of a fiend for those long-range angles on the right-click classic. I don't think he'll be getting anything. Well, listen, if he manages that, we'll have to take him off the stage.
If he manages that, I'll buy the bundle.
Shadows traveling.
I thought you bought it already, Tom.
I haven't bought all of them, that's for sure. Oh, never mind.
No,
I'm not buying that skin.
Yeah, the minima is, I mean, it's a close second to the Smite for worst skin in the game. 8-6, 2-round gap. Fnatic doing well as they find this round with 3 players left alive. A couple of credits farmed over, a little bit of reinvestment here, but most importantly, in the first half, they very much won, I believe it was the 3rd round, off the back of Leo having his ult online. The Nightfall was used to counter out an aggressive B push alongside a Viper wall. Ton of value from that early ultimate. This time, the player farming those kills and plants early is Durka, showstopper. Now that can have a little bit more of a direct impact on a round.
Unfortunately for the other side, not really able to farm up too much. This would be a game where Heretics really need to kick things up again, although they managed to come back from 4-0 in the last half. I wouldn't gamble on that happening twice. Pressure being placed onto Benji. He's normally pretty good from these scenarios, but looking like he's just going to back off, I think, knowing that that showstopper is going to be in play. He's got to be careful, really needs to get himself around that corner. Durka is going to go as far as he can, and it's not quite enough. They were very ready for that.
But that was close. I mean, Miniboo is just outside the range of that explosion. Durka keeps the control. Deep nade, but the stun forces him back. In goes Miniboo. It's like a bottle rocket, but he's taken down just as quickly. A short-lived life on that aggressive stance. Great paranoia, but the off angle from Alpha good for the trade, and he gets out alive. 2 players still on the site to scrap and slow them down, but in fact, slowing them down has nothing to do with it. They take all the kills and put 9 on the board. Fnatic steaming into the lead. It's going to be hard to stop them if this keeps up.
Yeah, well, at this stage, we always talk about winning both pistols. It gives you like an 80% plus chance of winning the map.
It's strong.
Winning both pistols and both bonuses, it's got to be like a 95. Like, you got to be as high as it can get in terms of winning this. It's definitely not a good sign for Heretics, especially as they're the ones who picked this. And I genuinely, I can understand it. If this was last year, I would have called them crazy, unless they were loud. This year, it's been a map that has had problems, but it seems like Fnatic are improving as they go. The stars are definitely online today. Durka is one of them. He's definitely had more hit and miss performances than last year, but when he is on, he can be an absolute menace. Utility already deleted for Benji. Only that cam remains, as both trips are already gone.
Few sheriffs ringing out, yeah, but sending Fnatic back towards their spawn. This isn't a round where they need to feel goaded into a fight. Play this one nice and slow. Moving back towards the B site. Quick check on the utility for Leo. You see his last Prowler leave his belt. Clears up the close angles. Did it not clear the close left? Ah, they're worried about the traps, of course. It could be a slightly higher trap wire that it managed to slip past. Not spotted. Chronicle taking the space, his teammates rejoin him. The A site will be hit. The wall is there. The only thing is, Heretics have got a bit of a read, Tom. They're all rotating to the A site right now.
30 seconds left.
Being methodical, taking their time to clear utility and try and bait them.
Grenade.
Hasn't worked out. Miniboo ready for one. Oh, he's going to take a hell of a lot of damage, but it doesn't matter if you hit the first shot. He's got another nade to deny them even further. Woot now on here as well, but Miniboo doesn't need any help. He's got himself a 3rd kill, was already low on HP. His brother's going to chime in, and now it's left up to Chronicle. 9 seconds, going to try and bait him in, and well, it may not even matter. Benji's there to support. Heretics off to the races in this second half.
A thrifty round win to get back on the board. I was worried about them because I said if Fnatic keep it up, it's going to be over pretty damn soon. I thought it would be the next round where we'd see a glimmer of hope for this squad. Running through a snake bite, vulnerable, hitting the 2nd headshot, and wow, the adjustment on Alpha as well. Sky is dueling for days on the side of Heretics. They've just been given a lifeline. Showstopper online coming into this round. Odin bought up by Woot. And on the side of Fnatic, Viper's Pit. If they get a plant, it'll be hard to push them out of that spot. Although, I think that's where the Showstopper could find a lot of value. Early aggression from the defensive side up towards Mound. Taking a lot of control, took themselves in the corner up close with Boo. The problem is, they've committed a lot of players to this side of the map.
Trying to get the orb back. He's just about going to be able to claim it. I was a bit worried he might get pushed at the same time, just with how many players are currently around that position. Instead, I quite like this setup. They've almost completely abandoned B, but with Mound control already, they can have a quick rotation in that direction, and it means that they have both an Odin spam plus all of the Cypher utility with some pretty ratty cameras ready and waiting.
I like the reposition from Wood as well. He's already aware that these players are going to dump utility to clear him from that position in tree, so he backs off, avoids the paranoia, avoids the further aggression that would have been coming his way. Fnatic avoid the setup. As they move away from the A side into B, nade is used, but Viper's Pit up and in. Here comes the Showstopper already past Chronicle, and he's got the angle up top. Beautiful positioning. Snakebite slows any further aggression, and Boo is caught through the pit. Even the aggression out of Durka. He's looking for that Odin. He wants it back, but Chronicle was dropped with the wall bang from Woot. Now looking for a little more damage, but not catching anything, with Durka awaiting him on the other side and the decay fading. He's right back up to fighting form. Benji, Fishy, and Rien's left with a difficult decision as to whether they even commit to this or not. It looks like they will. Good stun! Benji's got two! It's only Durka left up top, and Benji's got him as well! Gorgeous utility from Rien's, but what a follow-through from Benji Fishy.
It's the flip of the script. We saw some crazy rounds won by Fnatic in the last half, and now Heretics have just stolen one of their own. I think I saw Benji's reaction. I'm not overly surprised they've taken a pause here. I think he definitely needs it. The heart rate definitely pumping after what was a perfect stun. Boaster a little bit lost, it seemed, in the madness, and he's going to get absolutely everything.
And that's all muted. That little injection of rounds, it's 9-6. It's again looking like they're just going to run away with it. And on an eco round, they find a win. They follow it up with a beautiful buy round, and now a chance to equalize things all the way. Fnatic's control over this map is starting to wane. And for Heretics, a little bit of aggression to Mound, a little bit of aggression to Rubble. They're spotting these players early to look for their stances, but Fnatic poking and prodding around this B area for some counter spams from Boaster to deny that C aggression. Hasn't done a lot of damage, but I love and applaud the idea.
Yeah, much slower take at this point. Chips being moved, Benji still spotting. It seems like they're heading into the heavier stack site, of course, with the broken door already being open.
There.
Gives opportunities to sort of switch back quickly.
My ultimate is ready.
And more importantly, having that lockdown. Getting that orb early is going to mean that they can try and clear things out. A little bit of extra information already for Boaster, but that might just be attempted as a ruse. It does seem like they're going to fight into this, though.
Well, the lockdown at this point should send Heretics back in the other direction. There will be a late stun put through to try to slow their push, delay that advance. Doesn't seem to do too much. Fnatic are in. Plant is being secured as we speak. Big swing, though. Heretics are going to attempt it. The stun has pushed them away from that plant. In goes Durka. Good for two somehow, and he's out for free. They still need to plant, but with the nade exploding right now, they should have plenty of time. Benji Fishy trying to be the thorn in the side. Big kill from Miniboo. Durka's low. Oh, and Durka's down. Chronicle's in the same position. What a shot! Benji's doing it again. 3 kills already. The last man standing, Boaster with the big old gun. Some damage done to each player. It makes it somewhat easier, but he has to find them, and Benji's up top for his 4th kill of the round. He might need another pause to cool down, as they've just equalized on Fnatic.
I can't believe it. We saw it earlier in the last half, a 2v5 on the C site going in Fnatic's favor. And I was saying you can't afford to let rounds like that slip. And now Heretics have done exactly the same the other way around. And Benji Fishy is at the heart of it. They came into this season picking up young Turkish superstars, picking up Miniboo, one of the better duelists in the tier 2. And picking up a Fortnite guy who went into streaming and then came through the tier 2 as well. And And at the moment, he's looking like their best player. It's truly impressive.
Position economically. Stingers times 4 in play and a Guardian for Alfier. But a big rocket in the back pocket. That could be what turns the tide of the round in Durka's favor.
Looks like again, gonna have this early brawl.
Oh.
Spam has almost killed Chronicle. He's on his last legs already. Durka has just gone though. He has sent it straight into the B site. Space has been taken. Nade will slow any form of rotation for now.
Sent them back out to
and
the
even
players.
the paranoia is decent, but it doesn't even matter.
Spike down A.
It's just going to be the 2 kills coming through. Corner cleared as well for Woot with Miniboo alongside him. Any danger in this round, they have dealt with it. They have dodged it. While Leo, I'd have been impressed if he even managed to get that kill. And Andaluthia flawless to put them in the lead, Mitch.
I'll give the applaud to Fnatic in this round for at least having great ideas. Did it work? No, quite clearly not. But the idea to have Durka go aggressively on B, start to get those players who are pushing up Rubble every round to come back to start that support play, and then the nade goes through. It forces them back. Well, it forces Miniboo forward, unfortunately, but the rest of them go back straight into 3 players who were pushing up on A. Whether you want to blame it on weaker weapons or what I've seen is shots hit again and again by Heretics, they find the win. They put it now 10-9, a 1-round lead, and an aggressive stance that is denied by Durka.
Yeah, we've seen these 2 battle and brawl throughout the match, and I will say Durka's come out on top most of the time. I don't mind it though, it's disruptive from Heretics. It leaves them a man down, however. Around where Fnatic are coming in with the buy, they've still got that showstopper from the last. Leo is 1 away as well, so I assume he's going to be the one taking the orb here to get that Nightfall. Nightfall showstopper, one of the nastiest combinations, just because of the fact that you can get that information. They may not even need it. They're going straight through, just putting that pressure onto Benji. Fact is, though, he's just holding for now.
Patient play, he knows he's got backup. They can't push up without someone spotting. Rianne's caught behind the wall, the Nightfall in. And the Nightfall in on the other side as well. Even footing for these players. Showstopper pop by Durka, looking for someone, spots the trails, and the shot is good. Boo is down, Benji Fishy only good for 1. This is a much better round from Fnatic now with full control. And Woot and Rianne's on the same angle to fight through a Viper orb and almost take down the Viper. 35 HP left on Chronicle. It seems somewhat doable. They need to find these opening picks. That's a good one with the stun right after. Rianne's moving around the snakebite that just faded. But no flashes for him. A Prowler for Woot is all they've got to work with. 1 flash could make all the difference. Instead, it has to be dry peaks and fights that will not be won. Guaranteed by Durka. His 4th kill onto Rianne's as we equalize things yet again.
Yeah, he's been having a fantastic game. Now moves himself up to the top of the board, 21-14, but a lot of this round was off him alone, like finding that opener. He then takes the space. I really like the way they use the Nightfall, because a lot of the time you're gonna have Nightfall in and he'll chase it with the showstopper. If there's no one there, you've used 2 ults and you got the site. Okay, you got the site. But instead, he takes the space of the site just off his own back, and then they put the Nightfall through, so he guarantees a kill. He knows there's gonna be someone there. They're not gonna allow them to have that site for free. Slightly delayed take, but it works for them. Still, Heretics have been climbing back. Finance is still good. And now they have that operator onto Miniboo. Woot, though, is going to come under some serious pressure. Not with the Odin this time, however, so he's taken a bit more of a risk with some of the angles. He's won that one out. I don't know if he's going to be able to escape from here. That's going to be much more difficult. Everything being thrown into that corner, and eventually he's taken down.
Yeah, just a stray shot needed to put him low enough for the snakebite to finish, especially that little vulnerability applied. So one downside, right, of having that player there, even if it's Miniboo, he can blast pack out. You'll often see Jets there, you'll see Boo. I think actually going to Fnatic, Boaster was the player in those positions because he had the Shrouded Step just to bail, but even with smokes up, it's not going to be enough a lot of the time. Team Heretics fill in the space of the player lost with 2 towards the A site. B site double stacked up on as well, despite the camera being there to spot. And all the while, Fnatic have set their sights on the wide open site, the undefended one on C, and the post plant has been strong for this squad.
They don't even have information. Normally you might have a cam around this position, but instead it's set outside of B. They're almost forced into the retake. Now they do have the showstopper. That's going to be good to clear some of the positions. Nade, Boombot available, flashes, aftershock, and a couple of smokes. So there's a hell of a lot of utility available in this scenario for Heretics to use. But just look at where Fnatic are going. They're almost playing completely outside of the site.
And for good reason. That showstopper is about to be used. Miniboo now won't find any easy targets. Even swinging in towards Mound, it's a hard angle to hit them from. Goes for the wall in the back. Even if it does damage, it's not enough. Shot not landed. Boaster on the double. Chronicle showing up here. And Miniboo's all alone. 1v3, op in hand. It's not the weapon for this fight. And it's not a situation he sees as winnable. Running away to save the weapon. Fnatic have claimed themselves an 11 and the lead back in their hands.
Yeah. Good overall calls in this round. Like, that was firstly the rotation to find the gap in the first place, to get into the C site, with the Heretics gambling on the other two. Then the read of the showstopper being such a high impact ult to play from outside of the site. And then the second it's fired off, just the re-aggression to make sure nobody can get anywhere near that defusal. Good round from Fnatic, but was starting to look a little bit dangerous. Now has them back in the lead, back in control. And although they kept that operator through, there's still going to be a few issues when it comes to the finances for Heretics.
That there most certainly are. None more so than their support player, Rienz. He's coming in with a full belt of utility, but a Sheriff to work with. He shouldn't be the one fighting first anyway, so... Oh, this paranoia. It's absolutely perfect. It's pushed them back. It's denied the aggression. It's burned a flash out of Rienz as well. The Aftershock even used. A lot of utility out of the hands of Heretics for no real control. They haven't got rubble. In fact, they realize they have to concede it.
Definitely leaves them with a problem. They put Miniboo in space over on C just to make sure that Fnatic can't go for the same rotation. Actually, looking like they're going to push up on B as well. They really don't want to just sit back and let the ground go the other way. But even with the two-man setup, Alfia is able to spray down both. It leaves that B site wide open. It leaves Miniboo walking up, and if they go back here, they might just walk directly into him, but with an operator from this position, I don't know how many kills he can expect to get.
Well, nothing, as they're not even walking towards him. The B site now turns into the threat for Fnatic. Smoke to the left side, smoke up top. Only right that they've got to clear, and now with the door open, a potential challenger steps up, Miniboo. But the op will not be given a chance just yet. They wait for the door to close, but he's going to swing it right back open. Even still, Dirk has already bypassed him, caught himself a kill. Now Miniboo doesn't want that fight, but the door being open betrays him. Leaves Alfia the chance to shut him down and put 12 on the board for Fnatic. Now 2 in a row for Heretics. Just to claim an overtime. It seems unlikely, but they've done it before from worse positions.
Yeah. Oh, and Andaluthia flawless as well, though, for Fnatic. This was unfortunate. They hit the headshot, and then every other bullet goes astray. But from then onwards, Fnatic were in complete control.
Nice, Alpha.
Not letting any more of the rounds slip that we saw earlier. And you even look at the ultimates, they're definitely in their favor. A couple of orbs will get that lockdown again. A Viper's Pit as well. You have to feel like Fnatic have what it takes to force this over the line, but it's safe to say Heretics are not going to give this one up without a fight.
I got the spike.
This is dangerous. We saw the orb picked up by Alfia. If they claim site control, he'll be planting, and they'll be finding themselves. A nice lockdown afterwards to push these players out of position, buy more time. Durka shut down, and so too is Chronicle. No Viper's Pit anymore. Woot onto Boaster as well, and never mind the plant. They can't even get on the site. A jump up top now leaves Leo surrounded and shut down. And right when they're backed into a corner, Heretics answer up. 11 rounds now, just 1 for that overtime.
It's just ridiculous after losing 3 rounds in a row. It's just an Andaluthia flawless that brings them back into the game again. They're definitely getting their money's worth today, because we've had quite a few of these rounds. Benji as well, just a pixel is all he needed. The flash comes in just seconds later, but he's still able to find the frag. 21 and 13 up there and out. Nice! But you've also got Chronicle and Dirk still going. They come in with the better ults. They still come in with the rifles. All Fnatic needs is 1.
Well, it's either been a dominant victory on this map or overtimes for Fnatic. This is their chance for a 13-11, a regulation win. Previously, I believe it was 15-17 in favor of Heretics when it got to that OT. They turned up when they needed to. Lockdown is used in this round as we see Fnatic take control, but look how quickly
so
Heretics are right back into the fight, and they're winning every duel! 3 kills already! And it looks like Fnatic are set for another overtime on this map. And it's a nightmare for them. Even with the pistols and the follow-ups, they can't put it across the line in regulation. Short of a big clutch from Leo and Alphayer, it's gonna be the case yet again. 55 seconds, spike down on B. No real utility to get them through. If that reveal even manages to find a player, I'd be surprised. There's 4 guns on the site ready to fire.
Pull off something truly absurd, and it is not even going to be remotely close. OT on map number 1. Both these teams able to dig deep when it seemed like they needed it most. And honestly, this map has been an absolute banger. It seems to just swap on so many occasions of who is going to be dominating, who's going to be in the lead, because a lot of these rounds have been squeaky clean. And there's been so many as well that could have been, and then resulted in a 2v5 or a 2v4. Both teams have managed to pull up those sort of rounds, and now heading into OT, those are all that matters. Who's going to step up the biggest? Everything that's happened throughout, be it pistol rounds, follow-up rounds, even bonus rounds, all of that is irrelevant. All that matters is who wins by 2.
A wise man once said, the past can be a great teacher. Here's where you've got to apply everything that you've learned. And those spams are near perfect from Woot this time. Durka down to 58 HP.
Still fighting though.
Yeah, it's surprising to see him still spamming right back. It's only a matter of time before Woot's in that position up top on platform to fire right back. Durka predicted it and actually spammed it ahead of time. We're getting into the mind game territory with these Odins. They're not worried about Durka anymore. They know they're all in safe positions, waiting for the wider peak. Eventually, you've only got 300 bullets. I mean, it's a lot of bullets, but you're running out of them by spamming them all around. Someone has to peek and confirm there's still players here. The Prowler is the one to do it in this case. Durka, it's so close.
Oh, it's so risky though. When you're this on HP, but he gets the kill anyway, and he's able to escape. He should have been dead to rights, and eventually he will be. He has a teammate there. Boaster's not able to capitalize, but he eventually gets one. Still, though, just going to be those trade-outs. Boo left on just 10 HP, but the aggression of Woot with his Odin is not going to stop. He's stuck in the mud, though. Already, the trades just continue, leaving things back into a 2 versus 2. Chronicle might have taken the angle earlier than expected. Now Woot is left to try and clutch this out. Still, that Odin in hand. He knows exactly where Chronicle is. And if Chronicle peeks, he still hits the shot! So clean with it in these moments. And that will be Fnatic taking the lead just about by a whisker.
Just about indeed. This could be the first time they take it in OT. Like I said, they either smash a team or they lose in overtime. For Heretics, they'll hope to lean back on that history. But this play from Durka, ambitious, and it worked out. It pulled them into the sight. In all these fights where Boaster's able to pick up that one more great reveal. It's good to see Leo following up on his own utility. Fine, I'll do it myself. 13 to 12. One more now for Fnatic to be going into Breeze, their map pick, with the advantage already under their belt.
Back onto the attack. That's quite funny, really, that you'd say in buy rounds, Heretics have been better. You lose the first 3 rounds of each half and still take it to OT. But that's the thing with Fnatic. They're always the best in the late game. You might be able to get it all the way to 12. But when Fnatic are in the server, that's completely irrelevant. Boo, up close. His position going to be revealed. Getting out of here is not going to be easy. The paranoia is good. He doesn't have any plans to get out of here. He's trying to stick around. In fact, he's got a couple. Almost disrespectful. They expected him to try and retreat, but he wants to take this round into his own hands. They are still trying to deal with him. And in the meantime, the rest of the squad has arrived.
That smoke as well, sectioned off these players. Let the fight be taken deeper, and with kills under his belt, Rianz has the ult to work with on the orb. Easy stuff with the Rolling Thunder, and almost an Andalucia flawless, robbed of it by Rianz going down, but hey, I don't think they're gonna care too much. 13 to 13, and they get another swing at this.
I think it's just absurd as well. Like, you can't really blame Fnatic for not expecting him to try to retreat.
At all.
I think there might have even been a moment in their mind where they went, oh, he must have got out.
Well, it wasn't even that. You saw Boo. Because he'd been hit by the paranoia, he thought, oh, he's probably using this to Shrouded Step up top.
Yeah.
Because
the same can be said on the other side. Elmer Putty alongside Mini will definitely have some ideas.
There.
The operator is going to be in for Durka. Now, of course, this is a sacrifice of shield, so it definitely has its risks about it.
Boo's not afraid to go for that challenge up and around Rubble.
Toxins going up.
Spams haven't yet started. Chronicle a little bit more patient with it than what we've seen from Durka. Letting these players get close, waiting for a step to be made. And there it goes, rattling away. Same old play that you're up against here for Team Heretics, they know. And this one's typically played out. Benji very aware of the player in the corner, but he's just lurking up to destroy utility to cause headaches. Make sure if there isn't someone on B that there has to be, they'll rotate in. But in the meantime, I take a look at that defensive positioning from Leo. He's moving away from B heaven, moving instead towards A, popping his reveal here, but they've waited it out. A good sense of how Fnatic like to play this defensive side. They've watched them and how they like to breathe these rounds, and so far everything's going according to plan for Heretics. The dash in is perfect. In fact, the flash might even have just revealed him for Miniboo. 5 versus 4, Chronicle surrounded and taken down, and the sight is there for Heretics. There's nothing Fnatic can do but hope for another 2v5.
Yeah, and with Nightfall, there's not going to be any surprises, although Alpha does get an opportunity. Nice shot from Durka. As said, no shields to play with, so he's even lower than you might expect, considering he hasn't taken any battles. First goes his way, but the trade is immediate. No chance to find a gap in the armor of Heretics. They'll take themselves the lead. Now their opportunity to convert.
There were a few points along the way here, Tom, where I was close to saying hope was fading for Heretics. 5-1, pistol round at third in the second half as well. The 9-6 lead.
They might call you a heretic for that.
But for Heretics, they've somehow kept themselves in it. In the darkness, you have to those late round clutches as well.
All right.
Benji Fishy especially. 23 and 14 on the Cypher. Whether it be the AWP or the rifle, the man's able to get the job done. Attacking side for Fnatic as we get back into the game. The barriers are up, trap already spotted and destroyed on the way through on B. Some presence shown early, but no committal from Fnatic. They're spread in a 1-3-1. 3 players contesting for this B main control, taking utility out of play for Heretics. So no matter what, they have to commit a player to watching that angle, making it easier to push into a site in theory. But Heretics have decided on top of that to rotate their second B player to the C site. Now Rians is here, quicker resulting utility from Rians, but it's all gone. Now it's down to just rifles, where Benji Fishy and Miniboo are doing the brunt of the work. Alpha sneaking in, almost had an angle, but they've spotted him, dealt with him as well. And it looks like this is where this one ends. An hour and 20 minutes, give or take. A long one, and a tough loss to take for Fnatic, who see
performance. When he played versus Vitality, it wasn't the same. And that's the thing. I feel like this is not their most comfortable map. It's not one they're going to be picking themselves. But when they're forced into it, he becomes such a pinnacle point. And he's up against the Yoru, who's done exactly the same on the other side. Some of Durka's performances in their matches, again versus Na'Vi, were utterly insane.
One of the things Durka was doing was pushing down this tube, getting some nasty little angles to play from on the defensive side. Looks like Boo will not be quite as aggressive, but it's early days yet. Jump peeking out, hasn't spotted them just yet, and look how close Fnatic will be by the time he eventually sees them. But it doesn't matter, the correction is perfect, Alpha Year's dropped, and now the control is entirely in the hands of Team Heretics. They've got Tube, the only thing they've lost is the site, and as a plant comes in, it's a 2-man disadvantage the Fnatic have to fight back from. Look at the damage too, a good shock dart, though it doesn't land. Still could have been deadly for these players.
The only real danger is going to be Leo's aggressive position, but it's not even that valuable when you see where the players on Heretics are mostly coming from. Util for Boast is going to be completely denied, isolating these fights. Not going to be easy, but he has managed one. Flash is going to make things awkward, but Boast is still holding his ground. It's going to have to be an ace for the IGL if they're going to be able to take this one over the line, being pressured from multiple angles. He somehow connects the shot, but didn't expect Benji. A really nice try from Boaster, but it's not quite going to be their third pistol of the series.
Well, we heard a holy moly guacamole from Jake in the last map. I don't think he's going to be quite as upset after that. What a start. 4 kills under his belt, but the pistol slips out of the control.
Even Boo looks surprised.
Oh!
I don't think...
He got a reaction out of Boo. Now that's quite a
He might
day.
have pulled a muscle in his face, boy.
He didn't limber up before the game. He wasn't expecting that much of a surprise. What an attempt.
Oh, it's
so unlucky.
And you understand why he went that way, because you think all 3 players would be coming from the same
100%.
spot.
He made the right call, but the wrong read in this situation, but nothing you can do about that. A pistol round bound for Heretics. Not something we got to say on the previous map, Tom, but it didn't matter. They were still able to find it in the end.
Well, it's just 3 orbs away from a Viper's pit.
Very powerful start. Could even make that 3rd round a difference in it. As we expected to be online by then. 3 players spotted. Woot, good for 1.
Spike down.
The site control seems to be entirely theirs. A little sneaky play from Boasters, already just 2 away from that Viper's pit. Great snake bite, and it makes it easy for Chronicle to follow up.
Remaining.
Made this one costly, but that's about all. There'll be a couple of players drop, but Heretics have managed to convert themselves that 2nd round. Now we get to see if they can do the same thing that Fnatic had done to them and truly make things difficult on their map choice. This is the way you expect things to get a little bit more difficult. I'd also make the assumption that Fnatic may play for an orb here. Now, obviously, you can do the same with the plant. You get the plant, get the Viper's Pit. I think it's one of those ults that you can pretty much wait for that to happen. And for now, at least, Fnatic look like they're just going to be playing this one in more of a default.
Understandable for the round that's in it. A lot of weaknesses for Heretics. Miniboo's Outlaw could be dangerous. His position could be even more dangerous. Pushing down on mid, taking that close range angle. Solo A-site holders. A lot of support in this round is put into this mid play to make sure that nobody's coming behind Miniboo in through the elbow. Gives him the chance to be the point of that spear, but the orb is blocking out any control, and the reveal forces him back. So good early denial by Fnatic as that advanced map control is taken out of Heretics' hands. They have to fall back into somewhat more of a gamble. 3 players on B, hoping that's where the hit comes in. But as we can see, and the Viper wall there as well. As we can see, it's the A site that seems to be the real target.
Ryan's almost trying to bait somebody into the fight.
Deploying drone.
Boo's going to be the major danger, but with the wall that's put into place, it just makes things so awkward. They've actually intentionally just blocked off where he is on the stairs. Alpha, oh, the timing, it could be everything. It's only going to be the 1, though. And that's actually a rifle for Woot. That's not too bad at all.
Not a bad start. So much more still to be done. Leo, I thought he suspected Woot's position. Instead, he's tucking in for the late round play. Lurk coming through from Benji. Fishy caught by Durka. Good read from him. And now this is where Leo starts to step forward, making his way towards that door. The plant being, the fuse rather being tapped. It's being seen that that's not being stuck. Good kill for Brienne's. Follow-up is there as well. Trading over the weapons, so he doesn't have to reload. He can defend right here and now. 3 kills already. Durka trapped in the corner, but no info for Rienz. He had to clear every angle. He didn't pick the right one to start with. Fnatic pick up that round, but it's a damn costly one.
Yeah, no, that's a really good bonus. Like, that was a couple of pistols, still a couple of bulldogs. I think it was only the rifle really that they picked up on Woot that was actually anything of real value, and they managed to drop 4 players while they do it. So although Heretics lose the round, I don't think they're going to be too unhappy with that one. They now come in with Rienz on a Hunter's Fury, Neural Theft available as well, and only a couple away from having the null command. So this is not a bad spot for Heretics to be in whatsoever. They just now need to capitalize on the round, and that Viper's Pit is still there. Boast didn't use it just as a bolster to economy. He wants it for this round.
Careful here.
I think it's a better call. See a lot of Vandals considering a pit in play. Might not be the A plan. It's a little bit of a backup. I expect some shorties in the back pockets too if the credits allow. It seems like they do. Good flash for Woot, and he's through for 1. Getting out could be difficult. The spams are going after him. He's down to 45. Miniboo picking up Alpha though, who tried to fill in that little bit of extra space, assuming it was a heavy play towards the mid angle, which it had been before. We saw a lot of Heretics focused up there, but they were ready for that A play. And now the numbers thinned out down to 3. That Viper's Pit looks pretty tempting, if you ask me.
It's just whether or not Boast is actually going to be able to get him to position. He's so far away from the rest. Well, they do look to build into this B side, but just look at the rotation. 2 players are already into that back corner while also having the Cypher setup. Like, this is everything and more that Heretics could need to defend this. I feel like Chronic was going to have to hit some crazy shots, and that's not what he was looking for. It may even just have to be a save now for the side of Fnatic, because going into a 2v5, okay, we've seen a fair few of them won, but it would be pretty optimistic.
Well, really, it's the fact that there's no flashes, right? There's no way to get through these angles. Like, if you can get that Viper's Pit in play, maybe you could even get it done in the 3v5. The 2v5, it's tougher and no way to get into position to put the Viper's Pit in. Yeah, saving is the right call. There's a decoy put through on B, but no further signs of aggression from Heretics, who are happy to allow Fnatic to carry these weapons forward. Of course, it's not like anyone on Heretics really wants to be in a position where they have to buy something in the next round. Credits are pretty low, and this is a good money-maker round. It's also a good lead extension, because now they're up 3-1.
I like this. Again, just the early aggression coming out. The pop flashes. This was something that Fnatic struggled with when they came up against GX as well, was just these mid-pressure plays where they have pop flashes to just send it through and then just look to try and hold on to the ground. And the thing I like about Heretics is they're very happy to just take that advantage and leave. They're not going to overcommit, they're not going to overface, they're not going to risk too much and allow Fnatic back into the round. Both players take that initial fight and then they're gone. And while for Fnatic, this round's going to be all about heroes. Can Durka or Leo put up enough numbers to pad the gaps? Get them into a late round, that Viper's Pit still there.
Could be one of those games where we end up saying that for quite a while. I can feel it coming. Round 5, aggression good. Stocked up right at this trap, and I'm guessing it's going to be broken any second now for a wide swing. Rien's the one that would be in danger from it, but he's already spotted it.
Look at the wall cup.
Taking a lot of damage. And the push-up from Heretics is strong. I mean, it all depends, though. If they lose this control that Rien's is holding on to, they'll almost swap positions. They'll isolate Boo, but instead it's Mini Boo who's picking up kills. 2 from behind. The backup by Durka. The shots aren't quite hitting, but he gets there eventually. Look, it's manageable. It's winnable. The spike is down, but Durka has ult to try and retrieve it.
That's the last thing that Alpha wanted to do. He was trying to be so sneaky. And then the Neural Theft utilized by Benji to sort of just reveal him in the backlines is the worst possible scenario, and Boo just holding his ground. Good cleanup in the end for Heretics. A 4-1 start on this defensive side, and well, Fnatic didn't have a mass amount invested, but I think there's already going to be some alarm bells ringing with the fact that just the mid-push that came in from Heretics, just the gall to just go walking all the way in towards their spawn. That's got to be frustrating.
I know exactly.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I mean, you can see from this perspective, as we started out the round, the attempt to take control, I really enjoy, especially when you've got those weaker weapons. Sending someone up through tube, playing on the back of the trap. This was an idea I don't think we're going to see played out in a full buy round. So it's not the biggest of dangers for me. Now, okay.
Here.
Ult is used already by Durka. Good information. 2 players spotted towards the A site. Wood already dropped. Now Durka looks to finish that ult. He'll just go into it on site. Not looking to take a fight in the back of it, but they've lost Alphier. Now control falls out of their hand, and the ult from Miniboo is going to confirm all these positions. They will now know, or potentially know, where Boaster is. The Hunter's Fury is thrown through. Miniboo searching for this Viper so they can manage to take down that pit, but there's no chance. The shots have not connected onto the right players. Pit still up, 3 versus 4, although the numbers favor Heretics. Getting through this setup will be very difficult. The flank out of Benji Fishy perhaps stands a chance of turning the tide of this round. In fact, his position is absolutely perfect. Just seconds ago, Boaster stepped out of this ult. If he does that again, he will be down and out. Hunter's Fury by Leo is good. Takes down Mini Boo, but he's last man standing, not able to connect onto Rien's to shut him down. And at this point, how can he possibly deny this defuse? He's realized there's no chance. He's getting out.
Yeah, the idea from Fnatic, again, not bad. It was mainly revolving around having either a snake bite or the Viper's Pit, which I don't believe is actually covering the spike plant. So the goal would be that they'd be low. I think one of the players was, but the rest were not. So I don't mind the idea, but it didn't quite work out, and they also needed to catch Benji. Like, that was the thing. Him being able to flank and just remove this Viper's Pit completely makes that idea so much more problematic. A 5-1 start for Heretic, a scenario that we've seen many times from Fnatic throughout. But as always, it seems like he just fits right in. Miniboo, thriving. Rien's is having a great game as well, and right now Boaster sat at the top of the board.
Ahead.
The majority of his kills coming in the pistol round. Durka, though, It's looking a little bit more disrespectful. The pop flash, oh, just about. He even gets the TP off, but it doesn't matter. He's already dead.
Poison's off.
And those numbers way down. You can see
Cage triggered.
good old-fashioned Fnatic pause.
Here.
Right off rip, able to take some kills, find themselves a favorable position to close out the round. Now they look to the B site. Now there is a rotation in play. Benji, Fishy, and Woot, two very dangerous players occupying this site. Benji's going walkabouts. He wants to come through and clear mid. Boaster's got the angle, a little slow on the reaction, and Benji punishes ×2. Give this man an inch, he'll take a mile, and already making it competitive for Heretics, but still the man disadvantage. The A site open, that's where the spike is going.
Watching clear.
And now they know where both players are.
Yeah, they've already seen Benji, obviously, just moments ago, and then with Woot being spotted by the drone, that was everything they could have needed. Chronicle somehow still aware, and Woot... Not gonna give it another go, buddy? No. Failed the jump once, you just pretend it didn't happen, walk away.
I didn't even want to jump up there anyway, it's all good.
Yeah, I was just doing that to bait everyone at home.
Head taking it.
A 1 versus 3. Spike ticking, fairly far away, and definitely aware that someone is pushed up down here. Even gonna pop flash the angle, the read is there, but Leo, crosshair placement, just too good. Fnatic, they take their pause, break straight back. I'll be curious to see now what happens with that middle control, because the last few rounds, Heretics have been able to set up, get their own flashes in, and instead, Fnatic look to directly counter that play. Now, obviously, it was only by a millisecond, so I don't know if they'll shy away from that altogether. But I believe we've seen other teams do that, like go for a mid play, it not work once, and then just give up on it for the rest of it.
Yeah, we have, for sure. I think the second that your opponent sees you trying to fight it, that's where they're just going to turn and dump their utility. I think mid is a more favorable fight for attackers typically than if you're sat on the A side having to break through a choke point, or sat on the B side trying to break through a choke point. You know, mid's just that little bit more open, gives you a lot of angles to compete from. You'll see those late lurks out of Alpha as well. That can be a big problem if you are dedicating a lot of manpower and a lot of players to that position. Their team Heretics, they have given it up, conceded completely. But the idea here is that Fnatic will probably go walking up. They'll probably test it again, maybe even do the same swings, the same punishes, and that's where Miniboo, from miles away, can take that pick with the operator. For now, though, a very slow approach to the Fnatic attack, perhaps expecting some aggression. More particularly, Alpha Yair is the one expecting that. This position tucked in the box of elbow, it sometimes just plays no role, takes you out of the action, and that's the end of it, but sometimes it's massive.
Most placed the wall they used previously for that A take, but he's using it more so as a ruse, trying to even bait in with some steps, and actually he's just peeked and taken out. Miniboo, it's the second time he's TP'd away. Look where the X is on the map. TP'd out, but died just before it was available. A little bit unlucky. Benji, though, they walked into his site.
Oh, he's jumped up, though. Just the one kill to be found. Well, the second, I suppose, but the trade out by Rienz, by Woot as well, leaves Chronicle against the world. 1 versus 3. An idea of Woot's position for sure, but Rienz and Boo have repositioned, have made it around to B main, where Chronicle will now have to have a crazy reaction to take both of these players down. They're pushing to go. Oh, no, they've split up. Okay, maybe an opportunity, but jump up top right afterwards. Chronicle doesn't predict it. Boo's able to trade out. Heretics are able to win another round and put a 4-round lead into their back pocket.
Yeah, I think even just again, Benji doing well, like coming out of there with 2 kills when his position was completely known. We saw this just the other day from Fnatic on this map where they were very good at predicting. I think it was Tomazi. They knew exactly where he was, and they were just throwing all of their utility into the back of the site. And that's exactly what happens here, and Benji still comes out with 2 kills. And then just the quick reactions of Rienz and Woot to be there in time.
That was insane by Benji, bro.
Agreed. Nice! 6 and 2. Fnatic once again left with some weaponry weaknesses. Chronicles had to spread the wealth to get them a couple of guns in, and they do have the ultimate for Durka once again. So that might be an opportunity to at least garner them some extra space.
Wow, my eyes are down.
Decoy's gone running into B. As it went in, rotation from Rienz comes into play. 3 B stack. Much lighter on A. But there's an opportunity for Boo to pick one and reset into it, hiding from this Yoru ult. Durka's spotted him already. He's seen the op in his hands as well. That's a good opportunity for him to take him down. I thought he was going to commit on the back of the flash instead, scouting out the rest of the site now, making his way in. They know they forced Miniboo back. They heard the teleport sound as the gate crash was used over on the stairs. Alpha has to be very careful, and he goes swinging into 3. An easy trade-off, and down goes Durka. Things aren't looking good for Fnatic.
No, they're having opportunities. Alpha looked like he might have hit the timing there, but he doesn't manage to land the shots, and Chronicle even desperately low. They're going to need something truly ridiculous to be able to pull this round back, and they don't even have the utility to do it. The counter flashes from Wu are fantastic. The dart even revealing these close angles. Sure, the snake bites are going down. That will buy a bit of time, even get them an extra kill. And actually, here comes the fight back! Leo with 2! This round should have been all but over. It should have been done. And instead, Wu is going to try and fight forward, try and find Boaster, but look how far back he's sitting. The IGL doesn't want to give him anything, and sure, he'll take the final frag. But at this point, in the 3v5, the round goes to Fnatic again.
Now that's an old school Fnatic round if ever I've seen one. Get the site control, allow them to put the pressure back on, but then in comes your utility, just perfectly timed. Miniboo died, Wook got tagged down low, was vulnerable, couldn't even push into main to take the fights they wanted to because of the vulnerability.
Explain this from Leo.
And then you give Leo a chance to do Leo things. You know, that's what it's all about. You gotta create your own hope. And from the darkness, they've emerged 6-3, round back on the board, competing blow for blow with Heretics now, and a chance to string them together. We said Heretics had a lot of money, a lot of credits. Now that's starting to run a little bit dry after a competitive couple of rounds. Judge in play for Boo, but he's got his Viper's Pit to back him up. Benji Fishy, who has been one of the big hitters for Team Heretics, is left down to a stinger.
Such a ratty B-site defense. This is not a map that normally you get away with using this sort of weaponry.
Take flight.
Drone might put a spanner in the works. It's going to be the Judge scene. They know exactly where Boo is. They've still got to find Benji, and they'll know he's here somewhere.
That Judge is scaring them. They push the backside instead. Benji's not aware. They're going to go swinging through the nade. There was a small gap allowing them to fight, and the Judge just not good on that range. 13 HP on Leo, but it's enough. He'll survive in towards main. Keep that control for them late on into the round. And there's a TP from Miniboo. He's just gone for it, and they didn't hear him, but they've heard him now. Leo's just realized the steps coming through behind him. At least I hope he has. I think he has. Maybe he hasn't.
Not.
No, he didn't. He should have heard those steps. I don't know how Miniboo was able to thread the needle and slip past them. And we know Spike plans. This is very dangerous. Everybody's spread out. 25 seconds left and a need to make it towards the site. But with Rianne's falling, that should make things a little bit more doable. In fact, okay, the timing not fantastic for Leo here either. He doesn't catch Miniboo rotating. And Tom, to be fair, I'm now a little bit scared. If this position is as much of a surprise as I think it will be, he could grab a pick, and at that point, this round is winnable again.
It does seem like Fnatic are less aware. The problem is he doesn't know how much he's got away with. I think that's the more difficult thing is he may have managed to thread the needle past multiple players, but even still, it's whether or not he'll be able to get 1, 2, 3, and then get out of there with an operator. I'm not so sure. Fnatic are going to take this one. And that's the thing, this was a round of flanks. The fact that Miniboo got as far as he did is terrifying, but look at where Alpha got to. Like, he walked all the way into their spawn, basically, to kill Woot in the backlines. And I think that the players with the low weaponry actually did a decent job. It was the rest of them just being sort of caught off by some of the angles that they lost in return. There was a bit more of a problem. Again, Fnatic at a mass deficit of 5-1 down, slowly climbing their way back into the half. Now, the last 2 times they played it, has been dominant attack sides. 10-2 versus KC, a 6-1 to close out versus... At this stage, I've learned not to doubt this Heretics roster at any turn. Whoop having a rifle, Miniboo having an op. There's always going to be chances. And again, it's always tougher when you let a lead slip. Especially versus a team like Fnatic. They're never going to be giving up. Boo's definitely given up a bit of information, but I think it was just bait. I almost believe it definitely was bait. Just tap the cage so that he's expecting someone close and then give Whoop the angle. That's already a massive start. Another rifle into their hands and a player dropped their lurker in Alpha, yeah.
This is getting more doable. A Viper's Pit for Boo, looming over the round. Fnatic seem to be moving towards him. It's the A site. Gate crash left in towards middle. Maybe Durka is just going to try to take some more space. They've already been spotted. Shot rang out. Boo knows there's players close. Viper's Pit's going to be activated on the back of it. Flash is close. Boo doesn't get caught by it. He's got all this control to play with, but there's the TP as they start to look in the other direction, moving it in through these doors. We've seen this wall before. So have Heretics. They know what it means, what it often means at least. Good nade. It's actually forced Boo out of the ult, but they don't expect that. He goes swinging into them, finds one, and he's back in safety. And with a shot from Benji Fishy, the only man standing is Leo. A demon in clutches, but he's got so much to fight through, and the first shot is the one that seals it. Benji Fishy on the Sheriff, picking up 2 in a round like this, so valuable, as Heretics now find themselves 7-4 up.
Yeah, I think also credit needs to be given to Boo. The beginning of the round,
100%.
just baiting for his teammate to give him the firefight versus Althea. The Viper's Pit, just being forced out of it, but finding value nonetheless. And while Benji's there to hit a couple of shots at the end, it's going to be 7-4. Half at least is going in their favor. And as said, from what we've seen recently, Fnatic have been troublesome when it comes to that attack side. Now they're the ones with some vulnerabilities, but they have a fair few ults.
You just heard the call there from Miniboo as well. He's confirming. I don't know if it was his call in the first place, but an elbow pushes to come through. Decoy is the one leading the charge, but then they swing from the other angle. Nobody's here. Although they don't get to execute a play off the back of it, they do get the information early. It's going to mean those snake bites come through a little bit earlier as well. Try to delay this squad from taking space, but Durka can do it all by himself. Gate crashing in, finding the plant.
no.
Never mind. Denial at the last possible second from Woot. Just about finding that, denying the post-plant Viper's Pit, post-plant Hunter's Fury. And now Alphayere's caught on the lurk, trying to make up for lost ground. This is a beautiful stance to play from. Ult used by Miniboo, he even gate crashes in, and he's good for the kill as well. Chronicle walked all over, and so too is Leo. Boaster doesn't stand a chance. And the lead now for Heretics, what could have been a 6-6 half. What should have been, perhaps, with the last round being Sheriffs, is now double the scoreline of their opponents, with an Andaluthia flawless, the cherry on top.
Yeah, a spot in the second final they'll have this year regionally is on the cards if they're able to close this one out. Of course, it's always easier said than done. They've done that last round as an Andaluthia flawless as well, but...
He hit him with the nade. That's what gave away where he's... Oh, that's ridiculous. Or was it the corner?
I'm not even sure if at the end, Miniboo even knew where he was.
Just spray in. See if I get him.
boys.
Completely lost in it, but here we go. Fnatic again, fighting from a deficit. The last map. An OT thriller, this one looking more dominant for Heretics. If there isn't a turnaround, it has to start with a pistol. They won both when it came to Lotus, still lost the map. They've lost the first one on this.
Orb emitting. Poison's off.
Durka may have been spammed down through the smoke last round. He wasn't happy about that. He's gone walking through it in this. The pistol round, defensive side. Sees aggression from Fnatic towards A main. Double push on Halls, and nothing found. Again, that early aggression, finding them at least some information that they can now quickly begin to flank on, but with mid control going this way for Team Heretics.
Just nervous about Boo.
That's the spike. That's the spike, and it's dropped.
That's the spike down. That's such a problem already for them. They need Rians to fight back, and he's got to be careful because now there's another player looking to round the corner. It's definitely not the cleanest to fight, but he is able to hold on. Somehow, the Woods just got walking into the site. The spike has been taken, or at least it was for a second. Rians is still alive. He's on just 4 HP. And they don't know where Leo is. He's still looking to come up around the corner. Timing here is going to be absolutely everything. He's heard the steps, knows that they're going back towards the site. They're still clearing everything else along the way, which will give a little bit of time. And more importantly, what is that? I don't know how Rians is still alive, but more importantly, he's put Leo to an even lower health than he is. They're looking to try and fight him, or at least reposition to get back into a better spot. Woot taking the aggressive position to try and kill him off early. And now this round looks all but done. The shot connected. 4 HP versus 3. Leo to try and turn things back from what looked like an impossible position just seconds ago. The shot done could be what ends it because he's normally so good with these, but Rians has managed to dodge it and lands the shot in the end. He should have died about 6 times in this round, but he'll survive.
A Jim West round from Team Heretics. swinging through on those Sheriffs. Kill after kill found. And I mean, this started by them losing the spike. A lot of damage being done. And players on Fnatic just shredded. That walkthrough from Woot is unreal. How he finds that much value, I don't think I'll ever know. And that was a headshot through the wall. And then a headshot not through the wall to finish him off. That's got to be a frustrating way to let that one slip, but for Fnatic, I'll say commiserations, because that's a round that you can't really do a lot about when they're hitting shots like that on Los Niños.
Turkish aim again. 9-4. Heretics.
Right here.
4 rounds away from making it to a final. A bit of an awkward fight to start, but Leo shouldn't be getting away with too much here. Doesn't have much support. Not a whole lot invested either. And one of the biggest surprise, Alfia really has been having a rough time this map.
They've shut him down again and again. He won't be catching that kill as they fade behind the wall, and although a headshot's eventually delivered.
I heard Benji make that call on the stage. I heard him go, like just screaming.
I guess he was jump peeking, right?
Yeah,
So he just caught him. The panic coming through.
He's so loud that I could hear him through the headphones.
Let's hope he's not making the start around calls. Oh, Fnatic have stacked B for some reason. I wonder why. Well, the plans come through. Miniboo low on HP and caught by Leo, but it draws him into the open. An easy trade, and all it does is delay the inevitable. A round win, double digits for Team Heretics.
Planted.
And dare I say it, a tough score line to come back from on the side of Fnatic if Chronicle cannot find this 1v3. Even if he can, still going to be 9-5 at this stage. So many players to take down, so much time left. So little time, rather, left to do it. I believe he'll just be playing the exits if he even gets a chance. Angle held and swung on by Boom. Nicely done, double digits for Team Heretics. This is Fnatic's map pick, Tom. I don't want to get ahead of myself. With any other team, I would. But at 10-4, it is looking spooky. I'll say that.
It's looking done.
No, Tom, we did this yesterday. We literally were here yesterday.
I'm not going to change. I'm not going to change my thought process. They can prove me wrong again.
Let's
it's
go,
looking
boys.
done.
How many times do they need to do it, Tom?
Every time.
Every time.
Every time. From this scoreline, they need to do it every time because it is absurd. The way that Heretics are playing right now, they look like the better team. 10-4 up.
Poison orb emitting.
Looking to get themselves almost confirmation. Like, if this round is lost by Fnatic, oh, you're going to need one of the best pauses you've ever seen. Because I don't know if I can truly believe that the players on the Heretics side won't be able to squeak through an extra couple of rounds. Trying to destroy some utility, but nothing there this time. In fact, as usual, it's Durka taking a little bit of early aggression. But all of that was just a ruse, an attempt to try and sell a fake as they do look to head towards this B site in the end.
Yeah, it looks like Fnatic are stacking up for some A aggression. It's coming in at the wrong time. Maybe it'll get them somewhat of an early flank, but not at this stage. Heretics set their sights on B. Knife goes into the back, doesn't catch anyone. Traps will still be online. Snakebite in from Boaster. Lets them know that he's here as well. You're running into a Cypher and Viper setup. It's going to be tough to break this defense. That was committal from Miniboo, not a fake gate crash. In fact, he's all the way through, but the flash, poorly timed, gives Fnatic a way back in. Benji fishy. Okay, he's good for one, but the flash gets him. The decoy doing its job. Woot, last man standing. A reliable player in clutch situations, and the shots don't hit for Alpha. A very tough game indeed. The 3K for Woot just around the corner, and it's Chronicle standing in his way with 15 seconds left, but only one bullet needed. A Red Bull clutch and an 11-4 lead for Heretics.
That's the difference between the two. Benji's going, come on, we got to do our little fist bumps, and Woot's going, I want the orb from the plant. Like, that is a man that is locked in right now. He knows he's getting his ult from this. A Red Bull clutch, and that's the thing. Every single piece of information was there. They used the cam to reveal him. They knew exactly where he was coming from, and just the shot's not connected from Alpha yet.
So
this has been one of the roughest games I've seen from him in a long time, but the shots we're seeing out from Heretics, the ability of this young man. In week 2, he got his visa. During Madrid, he turned 18, just old enough to play in the league. And right now, top fragging versus Fnatic on a map he's yet to play with this team.
Yeah.
And if they win it, they're in the grand final.
And for Fnatic, I don't know how many Uncle Eero quotes they read to make these comebacks happen, but now they'll be thinking of life like a tunnel. You might not always see the light at the end, but you keep moving. You'll end up in a better place than where you were. That's their hope. 4 rounds on the board for the defensive side. 1 opening pick secured. Chronicle looking for that little bit more. The timing almost got him, but Alpha's able to deal death from afar. Shots for Mini Boo, eventually correct. He's on 16 HP, but I wouldn't count him out just yet. Hunter's Fury put through, and it's huge! So much damage, and still chasing down more. Mini Boo, ult on site. He's got the info to play with the deep flash. He sees the defuse. It's been started. In fact, it's already halfway. They'll see that rising 5 HP on Rien's shock dart through. It's close, so it doesn't catch Leo, and he doesn't get a chance to fire the next, but Miniboo somehow has found a 3rd kill on low HP. The gate crash reposition, perfect. And Boaster now running low on time, low on HP, and low on chances with Boo right around the corner. 12-4. And one of the most impressive comebacks needed for Fnatic to even buy a 3rd map in this series.
No, it's not happening. It's not happening. The way that Heretics are playing every single time they've needed it. The star lights up the sky. This round, Miniboo is running riot with a little bit of support from Brians as well. These rookies, these players who weren't even close to the league last year, some of them weren't even making it to Ascension. You're talking about the likes of Woot. Didn't get there. 16, 16, and 15 kills, leading their way on Breeze. And they have 8 chances to make it to that grand final, to show that the new era of EMEA Valorant sits with them, as it will be back-to-back finals within the region. And it was said earlier in the day, an expectation, I think it was from Alma Putty, who he thinks he'll play if they are in the grand final. He said it'd be Heretics again. I don't know if he would have expected to be able to lose again to this game, but it'll be them who has to try and grind their way back through, because they need so much more from this.
Seems moments away from welcoming Alma Putty and the boys to that lower bracket run. For Fnatic, strange territory they find themselves in. The old guard, and well, it's time to change. 8 rounds in it, 8 in a row. Bloody tough comeback for any team to make. And with Benji Fishy having thread the needle all the way through. It's a disastrous start to what needed to be the beginning of that comeback. Benji's looking for more. He doesn't want to get greedy though. Waiting for the wall to go up, for the info to come in and his teammates to burst through to the site. Gate crash used, Mini Boo's here, and Woot's just waltzed in, finding himself Boaster, the leader, dead. And now, well, he could call from the grave, I suppose, but Fnatic need a lot more than that. A few well-placed shots could get them back through. They've done it millions of times. I've seen it again and again. But here, it's not looking too likely.
Chance is slim. And with the way that they've been playing in these afterplants, it's barely an afterplant at all. Woot wanted to take it into his own hands, and even then he's done damage. It leaves just 2 standing in the way of Heretics, and another grand final, and those players aren't even gonna get close. It ends up as a slaughter on Breeze. This map was picked by